So hi Craig, today we're interviewing for Techno Moves. Where are you from?
I'm originally from Toronto, Canada, but now I'm living in Los Angeles.
Okay, so what made you start the BPM?
Well, we basically at the time we're traveling around Europe, going to Ibiza and heading to Miami from Canada for a winter music conference. And I just felt like there was a void on this side of the world to do something a little bit more underground in a beautiful place and sort of lack that Ibiza sort of vibe and spirit. So we set up upon a mission to travel around and find a spot that was suitable to do a week-long music festival at the time. So we traveled to, pretty much everywhere, all in the Caribbean. Originally we were supposed to do BPM inside Saint Martin, because we love the half Dutch, half French, thought it was something really special, so had those characteristics of Ibiza being an island and all. But then one of my partners called me, he's like, listen, before you fully go ahead with this, just get on an airplane, come to Playa del Carmen, and have a look around. I literally booked my ticket the next day, landed, dropped my stuff out the condo, walked to Cool Beach and said, this is where you have to do it. So we decided to do our festival here.
Okay, cool. And who were the first DJs to play at BPM, the first edition of the festival?
There was Dubfire. He's been a strong supporter since the first year. Steve Lawler, Pablo Ceballos, various local DJs from Toronto and Montreal. One from New York. This guy Michelangelo has been supporting us since day one. It was very small back then. 6 headliners and a whole bunch of locals.
So, what are the main challenges that you face when you build a festival that's gaining that much popularity in such a short time?
I think it's managing, the size, because when you start growing and you only have so much space and so much room to do things, then that really becomes a challenge on how to make it work so that people still have a good time, it's comfortable, and you don't oversell. Because we're not in one gigantic space like you guys have in Holland for doing some of these massive festivals. You don't really know how many tickets you're going to sell. So we have to keep the sales lower in advance just so we can figure out what the capacity of the venues are going to be. That's been definitely one of the biggest challenges.
Yeah, I can imagine. And how do you choose the labels? How do you choose the artists?
Well, pretty much everyone at BPM loves this style of music. We all love underground music, from Nitin all the way through to our other partners, Vito. And so we just pick labels that we really like, and we see what's coming up, and we do showcases based on music that we personally feel is cutting edge and great.
Yeah, so you said that you traveled to Ibiza and that you got the idea from those part of the world. Could you name some festivals that for you look like BPM and could give you some inspiration? Well, apart from Ibiza, like festivals?
Yeah, there's not really, at the time there really wasn't a 10-day long sort of multi-venue festival other than Miami, really, but it wasn't all under one roof. It was all done by separate promoters, and there was Ultra happening on the side, and there was this label showcase doing their own thing. So we just thought it would be great if we could put them all under one roof, all under one ticket, and create some sort of synergy. So it was really it wasn't really a festival, it was more of sort of a landscape. But as far as festivals go, I've seen some great ones all over the world. Coachella, Burning Man. I'm trying to remember, the first big festival I ever went to was in Holland, actually, and it was I can't remember the name now. No, it was in this park and this crazy concrete structure in the middle of it, and Carl Cox was playing, Dave Angel. It was pretty amazing to see 40,000 people under one roof. It was the biggest thing I ever saw at the time, pre-Coachella, pre-all that. So I'll remember the name in a minute.
And talking about Ultra, do you plan on expanding the BPM festival just like Ultra did when they expanded to South America and Croatia, for example?
Yeah, we've definitely considered expanding. I think for us, really, we want to make sure if we do it the right way. We want to make sure that we're not just doing it for the sake of doing it. But we're definitely been in talks with a couple different partners in different areas around the world to do something. Won't be 10 days, Definitely not. I think this will be the only 10-day long music festival we do ever again, but there's definitely some other things in the works that we've been talking about.
Yeah, so do you have any additions for next year? Anything that you want to change, you want to do, like expanding, for example, to Tulum, do more parties in Tulum, or some other places nearby?
We did some events in Tulum last year, which were great. I think for us, because of the size of BPM, if we went into Tulum, it would just be I don't really know if it'd be the right fit. So as much as I love the place, I kind of want to make sure that we keep the festival itself here. Maybe do some little things privately for friends and family in Tulum, maybe after. But I'm kind of happy with the way Play's been working. The city's really gotten behind us, we're getting support, and I think that is something that we want to keep it safe. And Tulum, really the rules are a little bit different. I don't feel that if we start doing massive parties there, who knows what could happen if you don't take the proper precautions and have the support of the local government.
Talking about that, do you have any restrictions regarding the hours? Like, do you plan on extending the hours of the festival? Like, it mainly finishes at 6, 7 in the morning. Would you like to make it last longer, for example, or do you have restrictions from?
Again, the government's been working with us, so we sort of work together and figure out what's best for the safety of the people that live in Playa, and also for the amount of people that come. If you start going later, that might not necessarily be the right thing. I'm pretty happy with the hours right now. I think it gives people some time to rest in between events, and it doesn't turn into just a 24-hour rave.
And are there any DJs that you were never able to book and you would like to book for the next edition? In the next year?
Definitely, there's plenty of DJs out there that we've been looking at getting. This year, actually, we had Paul Kalkbrenner for the first time. We're really excited to get. He actually asked to come play, so we're really happy to have him, and we put him on our big jungle event. Looking in the future, there's tons of acts that have been, dying to get. It just really comes down to making it work within the venues and financially feasible for everyone. And I don't really want to say what I'm working on, but I got a couple things up my sleeve for next year for our 10-year anniversary.
And how long does it take for you to plan the whole festival? Like, now you will be done by the end of the week, so what are you going to do next? When will you start doing it again, organizing the whole thing again?
I'm already starting, to be honest. I'm already starting to think for next year. As far as talent goes, it's always good to see sort of where they're at every year, see what showcases are coming up, and sort of see if there's another place for them, if they're growing or whatever. So, it's nonstop planning. I definitely take a vacation after BPM, but after that, it's again the wheels start turning for next year.
And how many people work for the BPM? Like, how many people do you have in your team? Like the team that remains for the whole year, that plans the whole thing?
On site here, there's probably about 12 that are full time throughout the year, and then there's during the festival we ramp up to about 400 or 500.
And I guess that you travel a lot to discover new venues, new DJs, new labels. And what are the places where you usually go?
I try to just check things out in general, ADE in Amsterdam, there's Winter Music Conference, there's Ibiza, obviously, Brazil. Just sort of, it's always good just to go check out other people's festivals and see who else is out there. And maybe I'm missing something, maybe I'm not. So just general traveling in general to each city. There's great clubs all around the world. So just keep my eyes open.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.